What's a good investment for 2021 and beyond? Well, it depends on who you talk to, but what I'm doing today is buying some silver, and here are 5 reasons why I'm doing that. Reason number 1, I believe inflation is at the rock bottom of what it's going to be. It's only going to continue to rise from here. Market Watch says U.S. inflation soars in April to 13-year high. CPI shows and reveals fresh stress on the economy. Yeah, that's an understatement. Have you seen gas prices the last month or so? The rate of inflation over the past year jumped from 4.2% from 2.6% in the prior month, the highest level since 2008. You can see inflation here, and this is what the government says inflation is. The reality is, if we calculate it as we did back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, inflation is actually quite a bit higher. But I don't have those calculations. I just know it's higher because I see things that are happening. So we're at the highest point from 2008, which is pretty crazy. I love how Market Watch, businesses can't keep up with the demand. Yeah, that's fair. Computer chips are short supply, new autos, the whole bit. I understand that. But the pace of inflation has surged after years of languishing at unusually low levels, largely due to the rapid reopening of the U.S. economy. Yeah, I don't know about that, but perhaps. Americans are also rushing out to dine out, travel, or go far away for vacation, activities that shied away during the pandemic. That's also driving up prices at popular vacation resorts and other venues where people plan to congregate. Yeah, I don't know many people going on super big vacations at the moment. And this is the most laughable part of the article. Senior Federal Reserve officials, who are supposed to protect the U.S. from high inflation, insist the increase is temporary. They contend inflation will subside by next year once the pandemic fades. Most people go back to work and the global economy is largely recovered. Yeah, we'll see about that. Right now, this is how inflation is. It's about 4% according to the government, which take it for as it is. $100 you had in April 2020. Right now you needed $104.16. That's over 4% increase. And I don't know if you've seen prices of pretty much anything, food, gasoline. I mean, pretty much everything right now is through the roof. I don't think that 4% is accurate. I am calling wolf on that, and I really don't think it's accurate. So as inflation rises, the money in the bank it says you have $100 in the bank, but in reality, if it's 4% inflation, at the end of the year, your money is only purchasing power worth $96. So your money is losing value as opposed to gaining value. Don't be fooled by the small interest rate they pay you. I promise you it's absolutely nothing. All right, reason number 2, it's just under $30 an ounce, which is quite affordable for most. Yes, silver has no yield, which is what people say. It's not an investment, but that's totally missing the point. Silver is pretty much insurance over hyperinflation, which may be in the works. And when I say hyperinflation, I don't mean just a tiny bit, I mean a lot. B of A thinks it as well. This just came out in May. Savita Subramanian, that's quite the name, cool name, says she's warning about, at the least, transitory hyperinflation, which means hyperinflation is 50% or more inflation in 1 month. But don't worry, guys. It's only transitory, right? But don't worry, it's just hyperinflation, right? Well, hyperinflation has happened many times during history. Most recently, I can remember, is in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe experienced it because, literally, they kept on printing money thinking, we can just keep printing the money. It's going to be able to pay our debts. That's really not how it works. Supply and demand. Do the 101 economics class. The more you print the money, the less the money is worth. So eventually, they printed so much money that people were literally shoveling the dollar bills or the banknotes into the trash because they're literally worthless. So silver is affordable. It's a hedge or an insurance policy against the money printing. Now let me ask you this. If you own a home or a car, for anything for that matter, do you buy an insurance policy just in case? Yeah, me, I've only used insurance once. Some people never use their car insurance or home insurance ever. Lucky. That's good. Count your blessings. But do you buy the fire insurance policy just in case the house burns down? I think most do. Reason number 3 is we have printed, in this country alone, $9 trillion from 2019 until today, which is 2021. That is absolute insanity. And there's a reason why interest rates are literally 0 for the big banks to pick up. My mortgage is 3%. That's crazy low. It's really crazy. That $9 trillion represents about 22% of the total dollar supply in the whole entire country, or I guess the whole entire world, because everyone holds dollars. Research shows Federal Reserve has pumped over $9 trillion to primary dealers by leveraging enormous emergency repo operations. A recently published investigative report shows the U.S. Central Bank submits the daily loan tally, but the Fed will not provide the public with information concerning their recipients. Estimates say in 2020 alone, the U.S. has created 22% of all the U.S. dollars issued since the birth of the nation. That is absolute insanity. I thought we were about a country of transparency. What I really don't like this is they will tell you how much money is loaned out, but they won't tell you where it's going, which of the big banks it's going. That is really concerning to me. Why don't we know if it's going to B of A, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank? Why don't we know that? That's really an odd thing to not know as a citizen, where all this money is going. If the taxpayers were loaning banks 0% to loan to other taxpayers, wouldn't the taxpayers who were in essence funding this want to know where it's going? I would. As the supply of dollars increases, saving begins to be a terrible idea. Ever since Nixon took the U.S. off the gold standard on August 15th, 1971, it was a weekend, so not many people were watching the show, debt has become money, and money has become literally worthless. What's your percentage right now that you're receiving at the bank? I'm going to guess sub 0.5%. Less than 1%, most definitely. Your dollars are really losing money every single day. Saving sucks. What's great about silver is there is no counterparty. Now, that's a fancy word for someone else says this transaction is good. When you use a credit card, the counterparty is Visa or MasterCard. When you use cash, the counterparty is the Federal Reserve. The full faith of the government. Right. I have to say that faith has probably dwindled a little bit in my lifetime. With silver, though, there's no counterparty. There's no one telling me how much this silver is. It's literally 1 ounce of silver. No matter where you are, no matter what country you're in, everyone knows that this is 1 ounce of fine silver, which means it has intrinsic value. The paper dollars, since we've now printed 22 trillion in the last 2 years, 22% of the whole entire existence of our whole entire nation, which is crazy. How much is that dollar worth? Well, the dollar is worth depending upon the negotiated settlement between you and I. This is 1 ounce of silver. You cannot deny that. That's what I like about precious metal. And there's something about holding something in your hand. Everything's digital now. Every single thing, it seems, in our life is digital. It's through this screen. I'm looking at these screens. But having something physical is something really nice. It's like a handwritten card. Don't you just love receiving a handwritten card from somebody? Just like silver. You can actually hold it. It's real. And then reason number 5 is silver is God's money. And I say that with all seriousness because silver you can't create. You have to mine it. It's a huge, long process. Precious metals are not easy to get out of the ground at all. And this means as God's money is from the earth and is going to be here long after I expire, the fiat currency that we're creating more and more of, again, $9 trillion in the last 2 years, that money's always going to be there. This is real money as opposed to the fake fiat money that we're so accustomed to seeing. And what's nice about silver compared to gold is silver can be used for daily transactions in the future when we're actually going to use silver compared to this fiat currency. So those are the reasons I am buying silver. I've bought silver. I love silver. I call it an obsession, I guess, but I really do love holding it. It's really shiny, as you can see here. It's something that can be used in the future. There's no counterparty. And with $9 trillion just printed in the last 2 years, I fear that very much hyperinflation, transitory hyperinflation, according to Bank of America, is on the way. And this is how you hedge that. Because the reality is the price of silver is going to change not quite as much as the dollar, how much the dollar is going to be valued. The dollar's value is plummeting. Silver, though, I guess we'll see. My money's where my mouth is. How about you? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you guys in the next one, and happy silver mining.